Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yokoso, yokoso, yokoso. Who could tell I hit that button a bit early? Welcome one and all to another episode of the Stadia Monday Night Chat with me, your host, ladies and gentlemen, the pre-taken Valentine, Clive Illenden. Yes. Welcome, chat. Hello, chat. Hello, Sednar, Dazadini, Victor, Dave, and Jerry. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Join me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as once again we follow the yellow brick road to Stadia Oz and look at all things Stadia this week, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I guess that makes me the Dorothy. Not the first time I've been accused of being a Dorothy. But I will leave it to you, ladies and gentlemen. I will leave it to you to decide who in the Stadia community is the cowardly lion, who's the tin man, and who has straw for a brain. Answers in the chat right now. Don't be rude. All right. Now, there, of course, will be tonight, ladies and gentlemen, will be Stadia news, views, insight, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, of course, another episode of At Home with the Stadians. Yay! Although tonight, Stadia Dad visits his favourite pub to meet his friend Negative Neville. But more on that later, ladies and gentlemen. More on that later. First of all, a big shout out to all of you watching it live. As I said, we've had Sednar, Dazadini, Victor, Dave, Jerry, Yoshida, Yokoso, and Jamie Lee. Welcome. Glad you could join me here on this show tonight. Say hi in the chat to everybody. It's always nice to get involved in the chat. Say hello. We're doing it live, so no pre-recorded show tonight. Live. Let me know what games you've been playing and all of that. And remember, please hit those likes because I like them. YouTube likes them. And it helps people like you find good quality Stadia content like this. And if you are new here, well, welcome. Hello. Welcome. Come on in, hit that subscribe button while you're at it and toggle the notification bell so you know when I go live with content like this. And hey, everybody will be happy along. Anyway, super chats are open, of course. Give it a go, show your appreciation, or just ask a question and say hi, and we'll try and deal with it later on in the show. Why not? Okay. Let us get to it. Let us get to the news. Oh, before that, first games, as I say, put in the old chat what games you've been playing, all of that. I have now finished Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 in anticipation of starting on Hitman 3. So I've been playing a lot of Hitman 2. I've mentioned it before, I think, on Cloudburst. What a great game Hitman is, and what a great game on Stadia. I liked, I did a few streams as Lord Kensal of Hitman 1. I've absolutely loved playing through Hitman 2. Can't wait for Hitman 3. It is such a cool game and it looks so amazing on Stadia. I haven't started Little Nightmares 2 yet, which is on my radar. And of course, this is an opportunity to go back to Cyberpunk and all of that. But put it in the chat. Let us know what you've been playing. Jamie, yes, Tomb Raider looks awesome. Even though it's a 6-year-old game, it still looks amazing. It's the game that Linus Tech Tips uses to show off how well his computers are powered, because it looks so good and it looks amazing on Stadia. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, okay, let's get to it. What a week it's been. Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, the previous week had been a little rocky, yeah? But it was sort of business as usual this week in a good way. Business as usual for Stadia this week. 2 blog posts came out in the week, as per normal. Although, in fairness, a day later than normal. Oh, what could it mean? What could it mean? It's a day late. Oh, given the heightened sensitivity and insecurity that clearly exists in some quarters of the Stadia community, of course, naturally, far too much was read into the significance of the Tuesday blog post being delayed. I mean, at least they sort of said, sorry, we're a bit behind on our schedule, or we're waiting for a bit of information. It's going to be tomorrow. But no, oh my God, that must mean something, you know. Oh, just because there was a slight delay. We had some people thinking, oh, well, what's it mean? You know, it must be some big thing. What's going to happen? You know, oh, that's it now. You've had other people going, oh, well, that's it now. You know, they're winding down. They're just going to be doing one blog post a week now. Clearly, that's what's happening. Yeah, you know. It's clear to me, just the most simple. Why don't people just take the simple path? Yeah? Why do people construct conspiracy? Just a simple path. Yeah? It was clear to me they were just delaying or waiting on confirmation of some info. That's why they delayed the post, so they could include it in the blog post, whether it was the, Little Nightmares 2 announcement or the creator going free. They just knocked it into the next day. That is a perfectly normal reason why it may have been delayed. Normally, the simple reason is the right reason. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that leads us, of course, to Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, which kicked off with the announcement, of course, of Little Nightmares 2 coming as a pro game. So adding to the pro games we already had for February, we had Little Nightmares 2. Now, some of us were aware of this, of course, I think the day before. We knew it was coming. And here's the thing. For many people, the first time they hear of Stadia news is, if not directly from the Stadia community blog, is from the big Stadia community content creators who are reading directly, make a video and read, very much like you're doing, Clive. Yeah, shut up. Who read directly from the Stadia community blog that evening, So it was a surprise to many people and a happy surprise. Yeah. Another pro game for February. So that's 4 pro games in February. Good stuff. Yeah. And also, let's put this Little Nightmares 2 thing in context, okay? First of all, this is a much anticipated sequel for many people. All right? Plenty of people were moaning when there was no Stadia logo when Little Nightmares 2 was announced. So ergo, it was anticipated. Yeah? An anticipated multi-platform game. A sequel. Oh, there's no logo on the trailer. Right? Day and date with other platforms. Well, actually, Clive, I think you'll find the Stadia version was a day earlier than day and date. A day earlier. Yeah, a day earlier than day and date of the other on the other platforms that it was releasing on. And it's a brand new multi-platform game arriving day and date or a day earlier to Stadia as a pro game. Not an old game, ladies and gentlemen, not an old game, a brand new multi-platform game arriving at the same time as the other platforms, but as a pro game for Stadia. What's not to like? I mean, that's a good news story all round. Really, finding negativity in that good news story is just petty and a stretch. So don't bother. But, there were some determined to find some negativity to the story. The interesting thing about Little Nightmares 2 is the port itself was done by Supermassive Games, who, of course, is one of the Stadia partner developers. And they announced that they were very proud that the game had come out and that they are, in fact, also still working on a Stadia game. So, they're used to sort of doing very cinematic, creepy games. So it's good to see that they're being used or, so going to get a hang of the tools. And maybe this is a way going forward for some of the developer partners with Stadia to do a bit of porting of some of the big games and stuff, just to get used to the tools and stuff like that. So there we go. In other news as well from the Wednesday blog, just close that bit down there. Creator joins. There we are. Creator joins Destiny 2 and Super Bomberman as a free-to-play game, and has now crowd play in beta form on it as well. So another addition to the free-to-play game, which is something games, which is something they did talk about. They would be adding some more sort of free-to-play games. No pro required. So this is really great. And more of these, no doubt, I think will be coming, because this is great news as Creator becomes available on PC and more people sort of create games within Creator, and it becomes a sort of a wider conversation than just, you know, Stadia, and it becomes like a sort of Roblox thing. Well, now people can give it a go and try it out. Like Roblox is free. Try it out on Stadia for free, no sign up, no pro membership required. So I think that's a good move on Stadia's part. And of course, finally, Pikuniku finally stumbles on the platform despite my attempt to have Agent 47 assassinate him. He's made a comeback, finally arrives on the platform. And, you know, more Stadia sales for everybody and Stadia Pro sales for Stadia Pro people. As I said, very much that blog post, very much business as usual with the, you know, the great news of a Stadia Pro title added. Many people were expecting, you know, a big statement from Stadia, but realistically, the only statement they could make is a confirmation of what they've already said before. So, you know, there we go, which of course leads us nicely, ladies and gentlemen, to blog post number 2, which came on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It came on a Friday. So another blog post. Quelle surprise. More games. Now, in fairness, this post was a little bit more than business as usual. You know, it was more a reassurance to the needy and insecure audience and sort of Stadia community members that are out there. A statement of intent, as it were, sort of masquerading as a normal blog post, whilst not mind-blowing. You know, it wasn't absolutely mind-blowing, which it didn't need to be. It just needed to be a reiteration of what we already know, really. But hearing it directly from Stadia was a balm to many Stadians. And so they go on here to say, we're thrilled to continue bringing great games from some of the best developers for our players to experience within the Stadia store. Over the next few weeks and months, players can expect to see everything from action-filled RPGs to competitive co-op titles and nimble platformers. Can't say fairer than that. And then, of course, it goes on to say, these games represent just a sampling of the more than 100 games that will be added to the Stadia store for our players in 2021 to share experience and play with friends. These just represent a sampling of the more than 100 games. There you go. You know, but, you know, in fairness, we sort of know that, but it's good to have a sort of a rough number that they're talking about. Again, we can kind of analyze it a bit. When you say more than 100, it probably means somewhere between 100 and 150, because if you had more than 150, you'd definitely say more than 150. You might not say more than 120, but you'd probably say more than 150. Other than this last sentence, this could have been a blog post from November or October, you know, just loads of games being announced. But that statement of more than 100 games were I guess it was where the community managers sort of hearing the cries for reassurance from many of the more sort of insecure Stadia fans. You know, I mean, it was loud. The cries were loud. So they, you know, they needed a bit of something. Some Stadia partners are like needy partners, you know, in a relationship. Do you still love me? Do you still love me? Yeah, I love you. I told you last week I loved you, and the week before that. Yeah, but you cancelled that thing we were doing. You cancelled that thing. Do you still love me? Do you still love me? Yeah, I told you I told you I cancelled that thing, but not to worry. I still loved you. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't change how I feel about you. I still love you. Do you? Do you still love me? Will you tell me? Will you tell you? But do you still love me? Yeah, I still love you. I've told you. I don't have to tell it. I tell you every night, every day. Yeah, I still love you. Show me, show me, show me. I need to hear it from you. I need to hear it from you directly. Please tell me. Please tell me. I mean, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus, have some faith in the relationship, man. Relax, enjoy it. Too much energy is used up worrying about the relationship rather than just chilling. Yeah, chilling and enjoying the time, playing some games. Trust me, says a man who is single. Joke, no, I'm not single. Although, having just done that bit there, I may not have been single 5 minutes ago. I could well be single in about a minute. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, 100 or more games there, ladies and gentlemen. To be honest here, I was expecting significantly more. If I'm brutally honest. There we are. And so don't tell anyone yet. But if anything, I was mildly disappointed by that number, to be honest. It was only phrased, more than 100. As I said before, I think it's, going to be probably 150. I'd probably say around 150. And I think it's worth going back, ladies and gentlemen. It's worth going back to that interview with John Justice that was done by The Escapist last December, the beginning of December 2020. Especially, ladies and gentlemen, especially in the light of what we now know from the big Phil Harrison statement from the 1st of February, a couple of weeks ago, So the internal studios bit aside, there was always a strong hint of the direction they were going. And this blog post backs that up. Games, and more games. And that's the feedback they were getting, and you'll see it. And I'm going to play some clips from that John Justice interview from, as I say, 1st of this December. But I think you'll find when you rewatch that, you'll find the pivot away from the internal studios is not quite the extreme reaction as we think it is. Because it's all about the games. And they kind of hinted that was what, that the feedback they were getting is that, there was also that it was all about the games. And there was a lot about working with developers and partners directly. Again, all about getting games onto Stadia. So try and see that Phil Harrison announcement through this lens, okay? Or at least watch these clips from this interview through that lens, and you can see the direction they were already sort of heading, or that the runes were sort of telling them. So and also the other thing is listen to the language about working with partners, and working with developers to bring their own games. Let me know what you think in the chat. I'm going to play you a couple of extracts from that John Justice interview. Again, this is from the 1st of December last year. It's just some highlights, but worth revisiting based on what we know now.
Hey, Nick. My name's John Justice. I'm the head of product for Stadia. So I guess I work on making sure it's the right product. A few hundred studios actually that we work with on just bringing their own games. So their own games, whether they're bringing them to all platforms or whether they're doing something special for Stadia. End of this year into beginning of the next, you'll see more Stadia exclusive games launching from some of these big name partners.
Okay.
We'll be talking about those. We'll be talking about those pretty soon.
More, and maybe you can't say anything on it yet, but are more publishers looking at those kind of options where they offer like their own catalog through a channel type membership?
I'd say there's nothing to announce now, but it's something a lot of publishers are really interested in. And so we want to do the things that players want, and a lot of players want to play that way. So we want to support that. And we also want to go partner really well with the publishers about the way that they want to do it. And a lot of them want to as well. So it's a big area of interest, but there isn't anything I can announce on it right now.
Sure.
Okay. So I'll take I'll take the phrase more than 100 for now, from a press release point of view. As I said, when you're crafting a press release, you got to sort of be careful what you say. And, can I say this? Can I say that? That's what the press relations department always sort of check with the lawyers and stuff. So I think it's between 100, more than 100 means that between 100 and 150. We're defo, going to get close to 130, 150. I think 150, call me back on it in a year's time. I don't know. Again, I think Stadia is on one hand listening to the feedback. Give us a roadmap. Are you still committed? And sort of throw in a fillip. Yeah. Throw in a fillip to those cries. That's a fillip, not a Philip Harrison, a Phil Harrison, a fillip. Yeah. Look it up. And on the other hand, being cautious, I think Stadia have learned. I think they're being cautious. I think they know they have potentially, significantly more than 100 games coming to Stadia, probably. But I think they're being equally a balance between being cautious and just in case some things go Pete Tong in terms of delivery, or, we have the old hack saying, but what about, you said 200 games and you lied. So I think they're just being cautious about it. I think definitely Stadia erring on the side of caution. And if 2020 has taught us anything, weird things happen, that delays in development and delivery dates happen. So in that context, more than 100 games is definitely erring on the side of caution. And I think global pandemic issues aside, let's say closer to 150 games. And just for those saying, but I thought it was meant to be 400 games. Some bloke told me it was 400 games. I was told 400 games. I read it somewhere. Yeah, Jack Booster said 400 games. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think if we read it here, stop reading headlines for a start and read the details. That's what I would say to you first. But Jack Booster said in an interview last year, what I can tell you is that we've built a roadmap of about 400 games in development right now from 200 developers. So when those games land, whether it's in the calendar year of 2021 or beyond, is something you'll hear more from us in the future. Will there be more developers and more games on the platform? Absolutely. But frankly speaking, my team is almost done with 2021. So imagine 150 games. We're talking about 2022 right now. That's our focus. 2021 is incredible shape. So between 100 and 150 games, incredible shape that they're prepared to commit to now, as of February, that is. Bearing in mind, lots of ink hasn't dried on things and things like that. This is them being cautious and committing to more than 100 in February. 2021 is in incredible shape. Hopefully that gives you a sense of the scale of where we're moving, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what Jack Booster talked about. Basically, those 400 games being over the next sort of 18 to 36 months. So that's the kind of thing to bear in mind in terms of that direct quote. But let me know what you think about that generally, as I say. Let's whiz past that bit there. We don't need that, Jack Booster. But as I say, I think it's a good statement to have made. It's sort of appeased quite a number of people. So that's kind of good. And I think, we could just get on to sort of being business as usual. And, we know the game announcements are going to be coming with 100 games, due. And we know lots of other games. We know a lot of games already. So, I'm looking forward to just each week hearing various announcements about another game and stuff like that. So that's the key thing for me. Mike Wolf, will there be more games and more developers and scale? Well, as I say, if you listen to some of the language about working with partners and working with developers, that language, as I said, is echoed in the Phil Harrison statement about working with partners. And also in that John Justice, he sort of hints at other Ubisoft Plus type channels and stuff. So again, working with partners and developers, getting their games onto the platform. I think realistically, that's what it's about. The white label thing, I think, is a bit of a misnomer or a slight confusion under kind of what that means and stuff. I think it's just about helping developers and publishers get their games out to players via Stadia. So anyway, so that was the announcement on the blog post. Anyway, as I say, more than 100 games. So without further ado, why don't we just get on and check out what games that they have announced and what games are coming. I mean, I think that's a good idea. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go through them right now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so first up we have, ladies and gentlemen, is Shantae Half Genie Ultimate Edition, February the 23rd. You're joining her in her first full adventure. All-inclusive version of this action platform comes with all the Devious release DLC, modes, costumes. You save the day as a belly dancing half genie. Can't wait. Shantae. And you conquer Sequin Land. Who doesn't want to conquer Sequin Land? It's the evil Risky Boots in the Pirate Queen's Quest. Swap between Sky, Bolo, and Rotty Tops in Friends to the End. And finally, Wall Jump as Ninja Shantae. Soak up the sun as Beach Shantae. And Serve Justice as Officer Shantae. Also includes Tinkerbat transformation, Blue Shantae, and classic risky costumes. Featuring all Shantae's trademark moves, with over a dozen dances to recover in all. You dance to transform into all new and classic creatures, or you summon magical attacks. There's a relic system, allows players to unlock new powers and customize moves for Shantae and her many forms. Conquer arcade-style action stages that unfold into a full world to explore, etc., etc., etc. So there we go. And if you're not satisfied with that Shantae behavior, ladies and gentlemen, there's more. What, another one, Brenda? Yeah, another one. I should have put the Brenda thing in there. So more Shantae action, ladies and gentlemen. More Shantae action. With Shantae's Risky Revenge. Director's Cut. It's a powder keg of high-octane, hair-whipping, hip-shaking action. Winner of IGN's Game of the Year and Metacritic's highest-rated handheld game of 2010. It's an old game. This enhanced classic features thousands of frames of animation and huge multi-sprite bosses. So let me know, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you are, excited about this, if this is your sort of game. I do like a platform. I do like a bit of retro, but not too much retro. But a much respected game is a non-linear action adventure platformer. You'll guide half genie Shantae through the burning deserts, enchanted forests, dripping caverns, and deadly labyrinths, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. And then, of course, the next one along. Next one, it came from outer space. It came from outer space. Who's the most awesome alien slayer in the entire world? You are, obviously. And now you can prove it. It came from outer space, and 8 Hour Brains is a unique arcade top-down shooter looking for action-packed gameplay elements, 4-player local co-op, which is always fun. I think that's where the fun is going to be had in this game. Local co-op mode, tons of aliens to send into oblivion. You're in the right place, ladies and gentlemen. Looking forward to that one. And, of course, FIFA 21, which again, we know that's coming. So it's good to have it on the platform. And as I said before, FIFA 21 very much, if it's anything like Madden, the way that it's been ported is going to look amazing on Stadia. So can't wait for that. And as we know, really, it's just a precursor really for FIFA 22 and Madden 22. So looking forward to that as well. I think that's going to be a good, as I've said before, a good landmark title for Stadia. Then, of course, K's. We know all about K's. This was part paid for through the Stadia Makers, the developer program that they have. A 90s inspired platformer, K's and the Wild Masks, takes you on a trip down memory lane as you side-scroll your way through the crystal islands in the colourful world of K's. You take off against enraged living vegetables. Of course you do, ladies and gentlemen. Of course you do. In a variety of ways, thanks to the powers of wild masks, you pounce ferociously like a tiger, soar through the sky like an eagle, sprint fiercely like a lizard, and rule the seas like a shark. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. K's and the Wild Masks. It's all that kind of old school gaming that you kind of love. A bit like Monkey Boy in the Kingdom of whatever it is called. I keep forgetting every time. But as I say, good stuff. Then, of course, we have what's up next here. Judgment, ladies and gentlemen. Judgment. This is, of course, a spin-off of Yakuza, ladies and gentlemen. Much loved franchise Yakuza. But this trailer, which I featured before on a previous show, absolutely blew me away. Just in terms of the setting, it looks really cool. The combat system, it looks like it's going to make you feel really good when you sort of pull off a good move and stuff. It's enhanced. It's coming out on enhanced graphics so that they can release it on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X with all the enhanced benefits of that. And that's why Stadia is getting it. And that's why I'm really excited about this. It's kind of mix of that kind of detective genre, action, fighting, story. I mean, it does. Yeah, I agree, Sednar. It looks really, really cool. So I'm kind of really looking forward to Judgment. I have to say, I can't wait for it. But anyway, let me know if you're looking forward. I mean, these sort of fight combos and sequences and action sequences look really, really cool to me. So looking forward to it. Judgment. And it's good to see, Capcom games coming. Could we see, as I said before, Yakuza on here? Then, of course, we have, if FIFA's not your oh no, I was going about to say, talk about this is Killer Queen. Again, a well-respected game here. Killer Queen Black, inspired by the hit arcade Killer Queen. That's what I was thinking of. Killer Queen lets you fight for your hive in 3 ways to win. Will you claim victory by hopping on the snail, hoarding berries, or wiping out the enemy's queen? So again, a much respected game. This is attack, fly, stay alive. If you're playing the queen, you want to protect your hive and your workers. The responsibilities don't stop there. Having a strategy in place will be beneficial, but you'll also need to be fluid and keen on your opposing team's strategy. Again, one of these sort of much respected indie games in that kind of the sort of games you see on Switch and stuff like that. It's, as I said, very much the demographic that they sort of going for, that kind of balance of big AAA games that they can do that Switch can't do, and the indie games that we, like to see. Stadia Games have been conversing with the devs in Twitter today of Killer Queen. Did they have anything interesting to say? Let us know anyway. But again, the other one, of course, is Street Football. Again, so, if you can't get a FIFA franchise, just do Street Football. That's the basic idea. It's sort of a bit of a dude perfect, and what they call that kind of football. Pana football, doing tricks and stuff. 3-a-side, 3x3, just like, knocking around with your mates as you did, playing, as I said last week, playing Wembley and whatnot and stuff. So that's been announced as well. So good to see that game as well. Let me know. I like that sort of thing. It looks like a sort of good, fun game. As I say, if you can't get the FIFA license, then create a street football game. EA did do a street football game as well. And then one game that I'm not aware of or was less familiar with is Hellpoint. Now, this is not a Stadia trailer. This is a trailer I picked up elsewhere. This is a much respected game, and I was looking up a lot of details on this, and it's a Souls-like game, apparently. So this is, very much, there's an IGN review of Hellpoint. the PC version, and they describe it as a very good looking, some great sort of scenes and to look at and stop. And it says in some points you sort of stop and just look at the graphics and stuff like that because it looks amazing, and a kind of a Demon Souls style kind of fighting style to it as well. And you lose, if you die, you lose all your kind of upgrades at that point, and you have to sort of go and find them again and stuff like that. So again, I wasn't familiar with Hellpoint, but it looks, if you go and check out the IGN review of the PC version, it does look really cool, and it's very different from those sort of indie type platformer games that you get. This is much more a Demon Souls type game, with great sort of cinematic visuals and stuff like that. So it's good to see that as well. As I say, check out that IGN review. Let me know in the chat whether you played Hellpoint on PC, whether you're familiar with Hellpoint or anything like that, whether it's something you're looking forward to. Are you a fan of the Demon Souls, those Demon Souls type games? I guess I'm sort of getting used to them a bit. There's a bit of hint of it with sort of Jedi Fall, isn't there? And then with Sekiro as well and things like that. But again, these are just 9 of those games, and we know there are so many more games that we already know of that are coming to the platform as well, in addition to these sort of 900 games. So that is the exciting thing really about these games overall. But let me know, as I say, which of these 9 games are you most looking forward to? For me, it's got to be Judgment. That just looks so cool. As soon as I saw that trailer, I was like, oh my God, I'm really excited about this. It just looks uber cool, as I say, set in Tokyo, in the red light district of Tokyo and all that kind of stuff. And just the fight sequences and the sort of the way it's put together. And as I say, let me know which of those 9 games are you most looking forward to. Are you a big FIFA fan? I'm looking forward to that. It'd be interesting to see what price FIFA is, given that it is quite old. Are they going to do a free weekend like they did with Madden? I hope so. But I expect to see FIFA significantly discounted. As I said, I think it's a sort of a precursor of FIFA 22 and Madden 22 and things like that are coming later. So anyway, good stuff, ladies and gentlemen, good stuff. And as I say, I just want to rattle through very quickly the other games that are coming that we know. So if you remember, about beginning of January, I did a whole video on all the games that we know already, some of which have arrived, but all the games we know are arriving in 2021 to Stadia. So they form part of that 100 or more games. So some have already arrived that they talked about, but some of them are in this 9. Hellpoint wasn't, though. But there are loads and loads of games we definitely know that are coming. So from that blog post, we know that basically that's 2 games we've got coming in February still, 3 for March. So the games keep coming, and they have done week in, week out for months now. And remember, as I say, the games that we know are still coming to Stadia: Outriders, Far Cry 6, Humankind, which has now been announced for 22nd of April, Monster Energy Supercross, Monster Energy Steel Titans 2, Disco Elysium, Death Carnival, Ark Survival, which is a pro title, Dirt 5, Hello Engineer, Riders Republic, The Dark Side Detectives, Windjammers 2, Young Souls, Merrick's Market, Chorus, Chris Tales, Tichia, Road 96, Onria Crimes, The Mafia Collection, and then a handful of games that have been rated at ESRB and PG, plus 2 as yet unannounced EA titles that were announced back in April 2021. I'm still desperate to know what those games are coming. So rest assured, stop being that needy, insecure partner in a relationship and enjoy the games. Ippo Zutsu, as they say in Japan, step by step. Also, what games do you think of the 9? I was thinking about this recently. Of those 9 games, which of those do you think are going to be pro? Because some of them have got dates on them, like Judgment. But Killer Queen Black could be pro because it says coming soon. Street Power Football coming soon could be pro, and Hellpoint coming pro. Could they be, because they're down as coming soon, could they be down as pro games? Let me know what you think if you think any of those. It was just a thought I had. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another episode, ladies and gentlemen, of At Home with the Stadians. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think? At Home with the Stadians, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I don't really care what you think, because to be honest, it doesn't matter, because I've already lined it up and it's ready to go. So sit back and enjoy this week's episode, as I said, where Stadia Dad goes to his favourite pub, ladies and gentlemen. Stadia Dad goes to his favourite pub, the Stadian Arms, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. All right, Neville. Yeah. Whatever. Hi. Cheerful as ever. What's that you got? What, this? Oh, this is the latest thing they do here. They just announced it. It's pretty cool, isn't it? That's terrible, that. What? I think it's cool. Been looking forward to this. Yeah. I wish they'd told us about it. What? Well, I just wish they'd told us about it, you know. Some of us may have got that drink in another pub. Yeah, I'm not interested in the other pubs. You know, I like the convenience of this pub. Anyway, I mean, look at it. It's terrible. Terrible. Whatever it is, I don't care. Well, it's terrible. That glass is half empty. No, it's half full. No, well. Yeah, well, other pubs do it better. Yeah, okay. I'm sure you're right. Anyway, look, this pub suits me. You know, it's convenient, fits into my lifestyle. I mean, I thought the days of going down the pub were over, what with the family life and all that. But, you know, Stadian Arms give me a new lease of life. It's a great opportunity. Yeah, but there are better convenient pubs. There are convenient pubs, yeah. Well, like what? Well, the G-Force Tavern. Much wider selection, yeah, much wider selection than here. Yeah, I like the curated selection of beers they do here. You know, I'm not bothered about having tons of drinks that sit behind a bar that no one's ever going to drink. Yeah, but they find it much easier to get the drinks in, you see. That's the thing. That's why it's a better pub. They can get the drinks much easier into the pub, you see. Anything you want. Well, why don't you go there then? Well, I couldn't get in. What? There was a queue. And you need to show your membership to the different clubs. Okay then. And then anyway they kick you out after an hour. I think I'll stick here for now. Hey, check this out. What's that? Looks very similar. No, look at it. No, it looks similar. And are you blind? This is much better than that one. See, this one is half full, right? Well, yours is half empty. Where'd you get that picture? Where'd I get a picture? Yeah, the Rising Lunar. Yeah, the Rising Lunar across the road. What's that like inside? Ah, it's amazing. They do all the brand new drinks. You what? You know, the brand new drinks when they're released to all the other pubs at the same time. Brand new drinks. Well, no. It's a more all you can eat affair. Yeah. It's a more all you can eat affair. Oh, they do a bit of that here, you know. But you can also buy the new drinks when they come out and things like that. Oh yeah. But the Rising Lunar across the road, right, is much better. Yeah, much better. So you've been in there then? You what? You've been in the Rising Lunar? Well, no. Well, how do you know what it's like then? Well, friend told me. A friend. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, but yourself, you haven't actually been in there, yeah? No. I can't. It's only for people on that side of the road. Okay. So you've never been in, but you're telling me it's better. Yeah, yeah. Well, I started a newsletter for it. Yeah, I started a newsletter for that pub. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All of the glasses are half full, right? Not half empty, like over here, right? They're all half full. Do they serve the most anticipated drink of the last few years? You know, the cyber pint. The cyber pint. No. Okay. So you've never been. We can't get in because it's the other side of the road. They do an all-you-can-eat offering, but no new drinks when they come out, like at all the other pubs. Yeah. But that's half empty. Ladies and gentlemen, there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that little episode of At Home with the Stadians. Can't guarantee we're going to do one every week, but hey, I enjoyed making it anyway. So, and I hope you like that kind of silly stuff. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, in really positive news this week, and this is a great story ultimately, and it's a good one to finish on, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. A good one to finish on is sky climbers, ladies and gentlemen, sky climbers. So sky climbers is basically a 2-person developer team, and they set up a Kickstarter for this and announced that they were creating this big RPG world, procedurally generated open world RPG, and Stadia was one of the platforms that they were aiming this at. And once they'd put the word Stadia in their Twitter sort of hashtag, the Team Stadia were on this, and their target for this was $25,000. Okay, they needed to raise $25,000 to sort of keep the Kickstarter going. That was their target. And well, it's in pounds here, but let me just convert it for you dollars. See, so this was initially, you see here, their target was $25,000. They in 4 to 5 days, they are now at $135,000. And most of this, and this is not me saying it, most of this is from Stadia people. Over 2,500 Stadians, Team Stadia pledged towards this. And the developer or the people behind the Kickstarter tweeted out that, wow, that thanks to Team Stadia, they had not only blasted it through their 25,000, they were now at over 100,000. As I say, they're now at $135,000. Not only that, many people who, Team Stadia on Twitter were atting Phil Harrison and various, Grace at Google and all this kind of stuff. And one of the Stadia business partners, the sort of the business affairs people, like I am in TV, the sort of business affairs people at Stadia got in contact with the team behind this, and they've set up a meeting this week, and they're going to talk it through to see, where they can go with this, where they can speed up that kind of development process, get them on the Stadia Makers thing. I don't know, but they're having a conversation. But it's a really great news story. I took a look at look at the updates here. Here we are. Stretch goal reached 100K in 5 days. You guys are amazing. That's from Paratope, who are behind it. They can't believe it here. They've gone way past their stretch goals here. So it's just really good to see when the community comes together, what can be achieved. And I hope, I hope it lives up to expectations. There's only 2 guys, and that includes the music. One of the guys behind is a musician. But yeah, within 5 days, they've got $135,000, thanks partly and mostly to Team Stadia. And not only that, before I forget to mention it, oh, my mind's gone dead. But anyway, one of Team Stadia, oh, sorry, can't think who it is now. I do apologize. On Stadia Source. Anyway, she's on Stadia Source. She's a great graphic designer, but she designed a sort of a Stadian sort of Phoenix character, and gave it to the, as I understand, the developers, and they are incorporating this sort of Stadian Phoenix into the game. And they did a live Twitch stream of them creating a 3D model of this design of this sort of Stadian Phoenix, which again is also just really incredible and stuff. Scarlett, thank you, Stadia Dad. Oh my God, my brain went dead. Yeah, so Scarlett, who's on Scarlett Streamer, who's on Stadia Source, is a great designer. She does amazing designs. She did this sort of Stadian Phoenix thing, and they embraced it, and they've developed a 3D model of it, and they did it live on, as I say, Twitch, and it was just great to see. So this is a really good news story, and I can't wait. I can't wait for the general gaming press to jump on this good news story and sort of start writing really positive stories about how, Stadia sort of came together and helped, sort of literally kickstart this development. And it's a great Stadia news story. So I'm waiting now for those mainstream games press to go on this story. Waiting for this good news. It ain't gonna happen, is it? But it doesn't matter, because we know it's a good story. I think it's a really encouraging story, and one, as I say, to let's hope they do a good deal with Stadia. Let's hope it's a pro game. Let's hope Stadia go, hey, you got some great features in there, but how about incorporating some Stadia-only features? That would be really cool. But anyway, we don't know. Nothing may come out of it. Nothing, But the point is, these guys have got their Kickstarter off to a great time. They say it's scheduled for Q4 2021, so later this year. So that's quite ambitious, but we'll see. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you were encouraged by that. I hope you were encouraged by the announcement from Stadia's very, very mouth, telling them they love you with 100 games, and you felt reassured. Tomorrow is another blog post day, ladies and gentlemen, another blog post, maybe more game announcements, maybe, who knows. But on that note, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of At Home with the Stadians. Tell your friends all about it. Remember, hit the likes, share that clip of At Home with the Stadians on Twitter if you should feel so inclined, if you don't want to share the whole show, but share the whole show if you've enjoyed it. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, afternoon, and rest of the week. And I will see you guys, same time, same place, right back here next week. Thank you so much for joining me live, and I'll see you around very, very soon. Goodbye.